Okay, here are a few minutes of kind of unedited clips of what happened on this trip and how it is to fish the island. For anyone who's interested in doing a do-it-yourself trip there, it's worth trying, but you have to keep in mind that it's a complicated idea. The best thing to do, obviously, is to take advantage of the absolutely great guides they have there and at least go out for a day with one of them and walk the flats on Alphonse. The guides themselves haul a dozen people or so, the max they can take, out to St. Francois Island and also Bijoudier. And they can do that daily, but it's a fairly expensive process. I find I like being by myself on the island and doing what I like to do and trying to figure everything out by myself. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Obviously, we ride around the island on bicycles. That's our main transportation. It's only about 3 miles around, so it's not a huge island. But the shoreline is not always accessible from every place. Oh, here comes a nice stingray up that happily left and went a different direction. And there's a bone that I'm playing on the our shore, and what I try to do with the bones there is get them on the sand where I can, just barely off this thing. It serves two purposes. One, it quiets them down so I can release the hook, and it also keeps them out of the mouths of sharks that might have been attracted because of their being stressed out by the fight. So, as might be expected, a lot of your success is going to depend on how you work the different tides. Interestingly, despite the fact that you may have a relatively low tide twice a day, there are still places on those flats where the fish will remain. You have to get closer to the lagoon and out into about a foot deep water in the weed beds, and there's almost always going to be bones there and occasionally some trevally and other types of fish. Bonefish obviously will dominate your catch here. The flies we use are pretty common. A pillow talk, which is a green and white little bonefish fly from size 6 through 10, actually. Doesn't have to be unweighted. And then a modified golden knight, which is a little bit of apparently a black and brown crab fly. If you have those two flies, you'll catch all the bonefish you want here. The other things you use, of course, when you want to go deeper or at higher tides, it would be a fairly heavily weighted clouser in the same types, tan and white or green and white colors, and they'll generally work well too. We had interesting tides this year. It started out with 2 days of neeps, 2 days of normals, and 3 days that were springers, but not really big springers, and that always makes a difference where you fish and when you fish and how you fish. A variety of fish species are available to catch. Apparently there are 60 so that inhabit these waters that will take a fly. Bonefish will be the most dominant one. Trevallies are also there. Bluefin trevallies are my very favorite fish. They're very powerful and very good looking. Giant trevally are there as well, and I did happen to hook a couple of them, although one was kind of a fake hookup on this trip because he ate the jack that I was playing at the time. Right now in the background you're looking at a pile of turtle grass that's on the edge of the beach on one end of the island on the lagoon side. Interesting again that weeds are not a giant problem much of the time there. I've used weed guards on my hooks and had very poor success using them because I can't make those hookups quickly enough. For the most part, you don't need a weed guard on the island. As far as terminal tackle goes, I carry 3 packable travel rods with me, 6 and 8 piece, and they fit in my backpack just fine. I only use a backpack on these trips. Lines are 8 weight. You can use more. The guide shop there suggests you use a 9 weight for normal stuff and a 12 weight for those big GTs. The tippets are usually 16 pound for a minimum, which sounds awfully heavy, and I'll agree that from time to time when the fish are a little bit twitchy, 12 pound would be a little bit better, but anything you fish off the side of the lagoon, you're probably going to want a 20 pound tippet on anyway, because you're going to need it with that heavy kind of fly. And that's about the minimum basics I can give you in this short length of time about fishing there. It's a great place to be. I've been fishing on Alphonse once or twice a year since 2016, and I plan to keep doing it until I die. So maybe I'll see somebody there that has, by chance, happened to see this, and if it helps them, that's great. Otherwise, tight lines, as they say, and happy fishing.